Alright, so before everybody gets all funky, junky, jumpy, and watching other people's channels and they're telling you that AMC were trending again, blah, blah, blah. AMC has never stopped trending. And as far as volume today on Fidelity, it has jumped up from the number 3 spot to the number 2 spot. Um, Again, this needs to be watched. I would not, just based on what's happened, do not let anybody else change your conviction about your investment. So this price action, I've already showed it to you. You already know this is not indicative of just AMC as a whole. This is coming from IWM and UWM specifically. You can look at it. I'm showing it to you right now. You can see the same pattern here. And we don't know exactly what this is going to do yet. Like I said, this was just a break in the pattern that I noticed back here. And it started to go up. But like I said prior, I anticipated sometime this week, I think I talked about it in my video yesterday, that I wouldn't be shocked if we moved up into another echelon for them of either 35 to 45 where it bounces between, or 40 to 50 depending on what's going on in here. Right now these guys are safe because nobody has started looking at, like, now people are finally starting to realize this is how they've managed to keep shorting this, and they would be fucked 100 different ways. Even if people stopped putting money into AMC, it doesn't matter because there's so much in there, so many orders being delayed, that if they all started putting it into the ETFs and fucking their shorts up there, they would be in big trouble. But these overall are more expensive. We got the UWM is closest to AMC in price, but the IWM, which has the most AMC, is, over $200. You're looking at more of a GameStop style of fucking pricing. Isn't it weird? Like, this one's closer to GameStop's price. This one's closer to AMC's price. And these two are up. I think the IWM is up 55 cents or so after hours. UWM's up 33 cents after hours, and AMC's up like 24 cents after hours, so 30 cents now. So, oh shit, it's gone up. IWM's up 70. UWM still at 33, and AMC is at 29.30 cents. So that makes sense. This is up about $1, and then like 25-30% is reflecting here in AMC. So it makes perfect sense. I don't want people, these live streamers are at it again, man. They're fucking, oh, it's our turnaround. Oh, this is it. Blah, blah, blah. And this has nothing to do. They don't know what they're talking about. None of them have even been looking at these ETFs. They don't know anything about these ETFs. They're not even clued in on the fact that this is how the shorting has continued to happen. They are still primarily focused on this. They know that these 3 letters are what elicit clicks and responses, and they're what people want to hear about. I'm here to tell you what you need to know about with AMC, not what you want to hear about, what you need to know moving forward. Again, there is no way to absolutely know what is going on. All you can do is watch. And the more time you have, the easier it is to recognize patterns. Could it be possible? Yes, that they are over leveraged. Yes, it could be. And now they are starting to have to return. They're having to return these because they're starting to realize more people are noticing what they're doing. There's professionals out there that are talking about them hiding shares and shorting now in ETFs. And that's how they're suppressing this price. Like, all the information that some of us have been talking about for over a month now, even prior to the run-up, like potentially what they could have done or would do, could be doing, all that shit. This was all discussed prior, but nobody wanted to hear about that. Nobody wanted to hear about what could happen after the fake run-up. Everyone just wanted to hear about squeezing. No one wanted to hear about the playbook these guys use and would probably use, and turned out they did use. And this was a new set of plays that none of us saw coming. All your favorite live streamers are telling you, Vanguard, BlackRock, they're our friends. They're our friends. They're hedges that help. That's who they are. No, they're not, motherfucker. They're the one that created the ETFs that are full of AMC for the other hedge funds to short, using all of the stock that they have in their possession. I mean, essentially, they're not here to necessarily harm us. They're here to make money. That's their job. That's what they do. However they make it, they're going to make it. Whether it's off us buying and their investment going up higher, whether it's off them loaning out shares or whatever to other hedge funds that they're going to have to get paid back to them. Like, they're smart. These guys know what they're doing. So I don't want anyone listening to some live streamer out there or whatever that's going to tell you that this is the official bounce. We're going to do nothing but fly up from here. We're definitely going to be cracking through 50. This is the turnaround, because no one fucking knows. Nobody. I err on the side of caution. Always. Everybody should, especially after what happened after the first week of June. Especially what happened when July 1st rolled around. Everybody should err on the side of caution. We know nothing is going on in here right now. We know, as far as AMC as a whole goes, nothing's going on in there. All the action is taking place elsewhere that's causing this to move up and or down. So don't go pulling loans out and shit and just throwing it in here because someone is finally I was right. These guys have been telling you what's going to fucking happen for weeks now. And the shit's done nothing but tank the entire month. And now, everyone loves green days. Everyone loves upward movement. It's easy to capture the momentum of the community and draw your attention back in to focus on this primarily. Do not lose that steel. Do not lose focus of what's really going on here. Don't forget about it, because a bunch of people are pulling into the hype of these YouTubers that want you to forget about Ape Fest. They want you to forget about that, quick, fast, and in a hurry. I want to talk about just for a minute, because it's really crazy to me, that we knew what was going to happen. We knew there was going to be a fake run up, a fake squeeze. We knew that there was going to be hedge funds just infiltrating the shit out of the community, trying to find ways to divide it, trying to find ways to take money from us in AMC and put it in other plays that would lose that money, or not affect AMC in some way, not be putting it into AMC. And you got, the Wall Street Viking guy that popped up out of nowhere that I saw running around everywhere after the second, trying to get a hold of all the guys and wanting to put something on, some event on, just pulling. That's how you do this. You distract. That's how you would win this if you were the hedge fund in an extremely short position. You want to distract. You want 20 new short squeeze plays to come up, and you want people to infiltrate the Reddit community and the YouTube community and start saying, if you loved AMC, you're going to love this. Check these out. They're cheaper. They're higher short interest. Put your money here. AMC's not doing anything anyway, so it's not going to kill you to pull your money from there or not put any more into it and put it here. And people didn't do their proper DD. People didn't understand that just because there's a high short interest doesn't fucking mean there's going to be a short squeeze. Not at all. There's a lot of moving parts that go into a short squeeze. A lot. And who owns the float is one of the most important parts of a short squeeze that there is. And when the institutions own 90 to over 100% of the float, and there's a fucking 50, 60, whatever, a bunch of short interest in it, you're not going to squeeze them out of shit. They own it. The moment you start buying in and running it up, they'll just fucking tank it. They'll sell all the shares they have, and they'll tank that shit with a quickness. So I just wanted to discuss that for a little bit, and I think it was just funny how all of a sudden there was huge distraction everywhere, Ape Fest, everything. There was just all kinds of people coming out talking shit, dividing the community, and it didn't work at all. It did not work, and we shut it down. immediately, the moment shit started happening, the community shut it down. Whether there was hedge fund involvement or not, that remains to really be seen. But I mean, like I said, you can see the fishiness in a lot of this. And it's possible, like these kids were just so excited to have these growing YouTube channels, to be getting paid to sit on the fucking internet and talk to people about a stock. I mean, they were talking to anybody and everybody. They were going on media outlets that used them. And I sent emails to Trey, to Coors, all of them before they did their first media interviews, and said, look, just remember what you're doing, remember who's watching you, and I personally think it's dumb for you to put yourself in a situation like this, to go onto a channel and talk to people about a stock that they have literally been putting down. They've been saying we're stupid. They've been saying that this is a dumb play, and you're going to go on their network and talk about it. And they did it anyway, and then they did exactly what I told them they were going to do. Chopped up certain parts of it, made it look bad in a lot of situations. Charles Payne's about the only one that doesn't worry me, because he hates, hedge funds and the big money people as much as the next guy, the next retail investor. And I can only imagine Charles Payne's journey through this, being a black man trying to get the black community to start investing, to start growing their income, um, by just putting it into an investment and letting us, you ain't really got to do nothing. And God only knows what those ignorant ass old white rich people put him through, just for him to even get a channel, just for him to even get a quick outlet to speak to people. I don't even want to imagine what he's gone through. I know that his anger and everything is justifiable, um, towards hedge funds and people like that. I know it is. I just know it is. So I just think there's a lot of moving parts right now. I think you just need to be solid, be true in your own conviction and what you want to do. Don't let anybody at this point right now influence your decision. Don't let me do it. Don't let anybody else on a bigger channel do it. Um, make sure you're getting educational information, and make sure it makes sense. It needs to make sense before it can make you dollars. You need to understand that. It has got to make sense before it makes dollars. Because the last thing we need, last weekend this shit happened. Everyone thought it was going to break through 40 and run up in the after hours. People were buying a bunch of options at the end of the fucking day. And I told you to chill. I said, no, chill. Just wait. Wait till Monday. Don't do nothing yet. It's already in a position to where it's not just going to fly and take off. It's already being controlled. That's obvious. You can see it. It's being suppressed. We know this. So it's not just going to rip in the after hours like that. It's not like it did on June 2nd. There's going to be indicators. This could potentially be one. This is a break in the pattern. This is something I haven't seen yet. I don't know what it's going to do yet. I have no idea, but I know what it could do. I know what I've already theorized that it may do, and I know what this might be. I called it. I literally, from tracking this correctly and finding out what's been going on with AMC and GME as a whole, finding out where this price action has been taking place to suppress it, I've been able to follow it and look at it and see, put the pieces of the puzzle together, get a clearer picture. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't. This, in pre-market, it could start ripping up. Who knows? I do 100% believe that the 40 to 50 range is maybe this next echelon. They have to figure out a way to return these shares. They have to, and they have to do it to minimize losses as much as possible. And that could be a way to do it. It's already been discussed by many, many smart people that this might be a managed event. It might be a government fucking organized, orchestrated event to where they just let this slowly step up so that it doesn't wreak havoc in the economy. I don't know. It's just a theory. I don't work for the government. I don't get to talk to the government. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But I have seen over many years what the government is capable of. And it's pretty much whatever the fuck they want. So don't get gung-ho on this shit. Please, God, please, do not just watch your favorite YouTuber say, I knew it, I knew this was going to happen. I told you guys for 6 weeks that we were finally going to do this. And these guys have just been wrong time after time after time after time. Um, I'm not, like I said, by any means a fortune teller. I'm just watching this brand new type of play and position unfold in front of me. And I followed the breadcrumbs, and I just got a clearer picture than these guys do. Like I said, I could easily see this going from, 35, 45 or 40, 50, somewhere there, bouncing first. Maybe they're trying to see if they can get some more out of this and lower the potential price. I don't know. There's just so much coming out now. It's hard to say, guys. It's really hard. Like, people are starting to take the ADF seriously, the off exchange volume, by fucking damn near 70%, which means there's 70% of this price that is missing. It's not even on the exchange. You got professionals talking about this, but people in other countries, Canada and everywhere, in Europe, talking about, 30 years in the industry. They've never seen nothing like this per se, but they do know that this is possible, and this is possible. These guys can do all kinds of shady ass shit. And I don't want anyone freaking out. Like, I would just wait and see what happens, tomorrow. Just see what happens. Don't just, I don't want anyone freaking out and expecting a violent move and then it not happen. Or maybe, you're thinking about loading up on options or something right at the bell tomorrow. And then maybe it goes up to like 45, like I said, and then immediately gets smacked down back towards 40, possibly under it again. I for the most part, think that we're more so looking towards a 40 to 50 range, or they may let it go up to 60. It may end up being a in between 45 and 60 type deal. Maybe the upper echelon goes from the $10 range up to 15 or 20 maybe, and they'll bounce it in between there. I don't fucking know. I don't know what they're going to do. Neither do any of these other guys. So just please, God, please do not watch any of these streamers that are fucking all excited right now thinking they did something right and they finally said something right, and all that they really care about is you guys forgetting about Ape Fest, forgetting about their possible involvement in it, and now there's some good news to talk about, so they have a reason to draw you in, a reason to get more clicks, a reason to get more views. Just, you know, like now. You know what's going on. You know the guy's out here trying to teach you something, educate you something, show you what's really going on, and it has not been your favorite YouTuber. It hasn't been. Not at all. So take it for what you want to take it as. I just think that potentially there could be something big coming. Only, and listen to me closely, only because we had a distraction with the West Christian thing. We had a distraction with the Ape Fest thing. God only knows who orchestrated it. No one knows who Wall Street Viking really is. Dude could be a fucking hedgie for all anyone knows. Literally, who was implanted to act like he was an ape, whatever, get this Ape Fest thing kicked off and get a bunch of people to throw money into that fucking thing and not into this. And it hasn't been happening. We shut it down. People are still buying AMC. I got a feeling people are going to start buying IWM, UWM, all the ETFs that contain this, that they've been fucking around with it in, and they're not going to have another avenue after that. There is no other place for them to pull this bullshit at. If those ETFs start getting ate up, they're fucked. Like, literally, in my opinion, they are fucked. If people start loading up on that shit, saying, okay, well, you want to delay our fucking orders 67% directly from AMC? Well, everyone's moving to Fidelity now, and we're just going to buy a shitload of IWM, UWM, and any other ETFs that you're buying and shorting. And you're not going to be able to do shit because I get to pick where my order's getting routed to. And we're going to crush your shorts there. So not only are you still going to be way, way short in AMC, now your ETFs, you're going to be super fucked in too. And they're going to have no choice at that point. I mean, none but to cover. Like there's going to be no other play. Nothing for them to do. They're going to have to cover. So I'd wait, see what happens. And again, that's just a scenario that I could potentially see happening. I feel like they are worried. They are scared because there was two gigantic distractions. And I mean, those were huge. Wes Christian investigating this manipulation. If I was a hedge fund, I'd have been happy. I would have been like, fuck yeah, I'm not worried about Wes Christian. I'll keep that dude tied up in litigation for 3, 4, 5 years on this shit, and these guys are going to throw $1 million at this guy. Awesome. That's $1 million we don't have to worry about coming into AMC. Shut that shit down. Didn't even get much over 150,000. And you got Ape Fest popped up out of nowhere. Oh yeah, we're about to fucking blow their minds with this crazy ass. Even if they didn't put it on, I know they were excited about it. Anything that pops up that takes money out of the retail investors' hands and puts it elsewhere other than AMC or GME or God forbid these ETFs. I hope some people start, understanding what's going on and talking about it. And I'm by no means telling anyone anything, not giving you financial advice. I'm not telling you to go invest in ETFs and nothing. ETFs are different. I would like people that have, significantly more liquidity than the majority of the retail investor to go in there and just wreak havoc. That would be phenomenal. But I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that I think these guys are scared to death that two gigantic distractions got shut the fuck down. Two distractions that appeared to be of our own community. Appeared that they came from people in our community and everyone held strong and said, no, this is not the time for this. Fuck that. There'll be time for this afterward. There will be. When everyone's got their money, this shit can be investigated then too. Like I said, that was my biggest concern was everyone getting excited about an investigation. That word investigation basically means a long time. That's what investigation means. When you hear investigation, you should just automatically think long time. It wasn't going to be no 3-week thing and boom, this is going to pop. I said that shit would have taken a year, possibly 2, and that's what it will take. It could be more. Like Ken Griffin and Citadel Securities, they got so much fucking money, man. They can delay hearings, delay fucking discovery filings, everything. We shut down 2 very big distractions right in front of their faces. Ones that I know they were excited about, and now I think they might be pissing themselves just a little bit. Just a little bit. But we'll see. Again, I personally am holding off. I bought a couple options down here when I was talking about seeing a change in the pattern. Just a couple, something I'm perfectly comfortable losing, but just, wanted to make sure that if this is a change, like a super duper change that no one's really prepared for or ready for, that I at least have something in there. I'm definitely not buying any more up here, not now. I'm going to see what pre-market does, see what goes on with the opening bell. Because I still think that there is a potential for a 45 to 35 bounce for this. They would love nothing more than to get a bunch of people to buy a bunch of options contracts right in between here. Right in between here. It's just funny to me that it was close to 43. A $2 upside. They could run it up to 44 and some change, and people are going to be buying options like crazy, and then smack the shit out of it at 45. Immediately crush your contracts you just bought, and then they'll start doing their fucking barcoding sideways, kill the volume trading, and you're done. And this is what I really need to, I need to investigate more into this shit right here. I just do. So that's what I'm going to work on. I want to see how much of the order flow, if I can find it, is actually being processed in here. And I got a feeling it's all of it. Like all the order flow is being processed in here. And if this ends up being a play to where people, like I said, using Fidelity can get in on this and route their orders straight to the NYSE or NASDAQ or wherever, that Citadel can't get a hold of it, that will be endgame. 100% endgame. But I'm going to get out of here because the neighbor apparently made some homemade salsa, and I'm about to go tear some of that shiz up. I think she made homemade chips too. So I'll let y'all know later how that shit is. All right, I'm out of here.